Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And welcome to another public sublimation announcement. I did this video, well, not this video. I did a video about how the sublimation game, as far as printers and craft printers or small or desktop printers, how it is changing when it comes to Epson. That is a very, very detailed video. I will have that link at the end of this video for you to go back and watch that full one, because I fully break down the major differences between what was available previously and what's available now. In this particular video, I'm only going to go over and review the compatible Epson wide, sublimation compatible, meaning these are printers that can be made into sublimation printers that are wide format. I will have a separate video for smaller format printers. So if you feel as if you want to start off a little bit smaller, maybe not invest so much money, there will be a separate video for small format printers. For wide format printers, these are printers that allow you to print at least 11 by 17 up to 13 by 19 sheets. But most of these printers, you can go much longer. Traditionally, it's like 47 inches long, so a little under 4 feet. But there is a newer printer that will allow you to print up to 78 inches long. So I'm only going to review the wide format printer options in this one. If you want to know how they compare to the other ones like that were out before, you will have to watch the video that I have where I talk about how the sublimation printer game is changing, and it's not going to be like it was before. It's not going to be as cost effective as it was before. That video is a bit of a longer one, but the majority of the information is in that first part. After that, I was just answering a lot of questions. So you definitely can check out that video. If you are in the market for an Epson printer and you want to upgrade to a wide format, because maybe you have a small format one now, or you just want to go straight to a wide format desktop printer, then go ahead and stick around. And I'm going to review what options are available. This video, this live is brought to you by the letters INK, which is HS Inc. And that is our product line. You can find out more about our products on shop.silaholics.com. That link is in the description of this video. We have ink and cartridges available for the compatible Epson printers that are available as of right now. It is September 2021. These may change depending on how Epson changes their printers. The ones that I'm going to go over are fairly new. So I would suspect that you'll be able to find these printers within the next year or so. If there are any other changes made, I will have an updated video the same way as I'm doing this one, which is an updated video on what printers are available. But we do have the cartridges and chips available on our website, shop.silaholics.com, as well as the sublimation ink. All right, so let's go ahead and get into which printers are available right after I introduce myself. So how are you guys doing? I am Shakia, the professor of Silaholics Anonymous, which is our parent company where I teach people how to use Silhouette Studio for sublimation. And right after this, I'm hoping to, get this done fairly quickly. At 5:30, I do have a live video that will go over using Silhouette Studio and doing very simple things as far as sizing. And it's I'm going to go over easy ways to get into sublimation. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your bell so that you're notified when I go live for that discussion and demo. We are also the home and owners of HS Ink, which is short for Honestly Speaking. We carry sublimation ink, sublimation paper, pigment ink. We have the cartridges, syringes, needles, everything that you need to, I hate the word, but convert your Epson printers. It does not matter if you are using an a cartridge-based printer or an EcoTank printer. It is still a conversion because the ink that comes in the printer is not sublimation ink. I actually just had a conversation with someone and they thought that the 16650 was an actual sublimation printer. Epson does not sell any like desktop, like middle grade 13-inch sublimation printers. Epson does not sell any of those. All the printers that are available from Epson are ones where you have to put a different type of ink in it. And that's all it means to convert. Even EcoTanks have to be converted. You're just putting sublimation ink in there instead of the ink that comes with it. It's the same thing when it comes to the workforce or cartridge-based printers. All you're doing is putting in sublimation ink instead, or eventually switching out instead of leaving it as the regular ink. Because I'm one that I recommend that you start with the Epson ink first, and then you put in your pre-fills. It does not take a lot of print head cleanings to switch it over. As long as you have done it correctly, it is one print head cleaning to go from the Epson ink cartridges to sublimation ink cartridges and have that sublimation ink flowing through your printer. Now, I know I'll probably get the question. You can go back, but it takes a lot more work to go back to pigment ink. No, you cannot flip-flop and alternate between prints, between sublimation and pigment. If you have a need and you desire to have both types of ink, you're going to need two different printers. You cannot interchange them and go back. At any point, can you turn a pigment one into a sublimation one if you happen to need it? Yes, you can. But it's a much more lengthy process to go from sublimation back to the regular ink. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're just going to go over what the available printers are, what are going to be your costs associated with it, what are the limitations with it. So that's what we're going to go over today. All right. So be sure to share this video out. Give this video a thumbs up. I will let you guys know that I'm going to be very limited in the questions that I answer because I do plan to give out all the information. Now, if there is something that I did not go over in this video as you're watching the playback, because if someone kind of comes in, they may end up asking a question that I've already answered. Do not think that I am ignoring you. It's just that I don't want to have this video be way too lengthy because I'm repeating information. Y'all know I am very, very thorough. So I'm going to go over the available printers in detail, and then that should answer all of your questions. Okay. All righty. So there are, as you saw on the thumbnail, all of the ones that were black were the workforce or cartridge-based printers. All of the ones that were on the, well, depending on how you're looking, but it's like all of the white ones, those are all EcoTank printers. With the workforce, all three of those use the exact same cartridges. Gone are the days of 252s. Let me first go over the names of the printers or model numbers. You have the 7820, 7840, 7310. These are all wide format printers. They have the same print speed. They have the same output, the same resolution. Everything is the same. They use the same type of inks. They use the same cartridges. The only difference is the 7820 and the 7840 are both all-in-ones. The 7310 is simply a printer. The 7820 has one front tray. The 7840 has two. That is literally the only difference between those two printers. One tray versus two. And that is the difference of $50. One retails at $249. The other one retails at $299. The 7310 is the one that's not an all-in-one, but it does have 2 trays. They all use the 812 cartridges. We do sell them with the chips on them. These, however, are single-use chips, meaning once the printer says cartridge not recognized, you have to treat this as if you would any traditional printer. I know you guys have been spoiled by continuous ink systems, resettable cartridges of the 252s. This basically takes you back old school. Before your printer runs out of ink, you have to put a new cartridge in. Plain and simple. That's how printers have worked for ages. You put a new cartridge in. With these, though, because you're refilling it with a different type of ink, you don't have to change out the cartridge. The equivalent of changing out the cartridge is just changing the chip. We sell the chips by themselves. You would take a chip off. And then you're going to take this one, put it on there. Slide it on. That easy. You're going to take it off. You would discard it because this chip no longer works. I mean, if you want to hold on to them just in case some sort of reset system comes about and you're able to reset them, you can, but technically they're trash. You throw them away. And then you open up a new one. We sell all 4 of them together. And you take it, you put it on there. Gotta kind of put it on the bottom and slide it up. That is what you have to do every time the printer says that, oops, it is out of ink. And if that happens, I think I was playing around, this fell off. It goes back on fairly easy. So my chip fell off. I'm going to just line up the grooves. Make sure you push it all the way down so that it doesn't come off. Oh, what the world is going on here? That one's kind of loose. All right, so I wonder if this is the wrong clip for this one because we have some clips for the other printer as well. I'm going to check the other ones to see. But if it comes off, just make sure that it stays on. This one just a little wobbly. Okay, yeah, there it is. It stays on. Okay. So you have to change this out with all of those printers that you saw on the title one, the left-hand side. All of those black ones are cartridge-based printers. Okay. These are also all 4-color printers. You just have a black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. So there are 4 colors. Then you have EcoTank printers. The 15,000 is one that was like kind of a more affordable one. It retailed at $600, $599. That is a printer that's been really, really hard to find over the past couple of months. So you may hear people talk about the 15,000 quite a bit. However, that is not a printer that you're going to find like readily in stores on Epson's website, Best Buy, Office Depot, Office Max, Staples. You're not going to find that printer easily. Those have not been in major rotation for several months. I suspect that they're on their way out of the door and they're going to have a new printer because that printer has been out for a while. And Epson tends to change out their printers every 2 to 3 years. And the 15,000 has been out for a while. So I do believe that that is being phased out. They do have a new printer, which is the 8550. It's a much smaller footprint. It doesn't have like the automatic, well, not the automatic document feeder. It doesn't have the, I'm gonna flash this one real quick just so you can see. So if you look at this one, yeah. So the middle one is the 15,000. It has an automatic document feeder for scanning. The 8550 is basically just a regular printer. It does have a scanner bed, but it's just a flatbed scanner. The 15,000 is one that has an automatic document feeder. That's really the only like difference, you know, in that. but you're not able to easily find them. The 8550 seems like, I'm pretty sure they're going to have one that has an automatic document feeder. These things are made for small offices. We're going to take a look at Epson's website. Okay. And so if I go up here, when you have things for home or for work, like for business ones, that's how they're pricing them based off of what it is that you're saying that you need it for. What type of features do you need? Do you need an automatic document feeder? Do you need duplex printing, which for Sublimation you don't? You will have to go through. I've gone through and I've done videos. Obviously, y'all don't like the long videos when I am breaking down everything. I'm breaking down duplex and why you need this and why you don't need that. Y'all say y'all don't like the long one, so I'm not going to get into that. You can go check out the video I have on that. But you need to check the specs. If you go to home, most of the printers that you're going to use, even though you have a business, when you're looking for the information on these printers, do not go to for work. They're going to show you printers that are for small business office settings, as far as how fast they print. A lot of monochromatic ones, which means they're just black and white. Things like duplexing, things that you're not going to need. You may have a business, but you're not using the printer as a business printer. You're going to go to the ones for home printers. And if we go to EcoTanks, it breaks down everything for you in like a quick little snapshot. Home office, creatives, business pro, and then black and white. So if we go over here to home and office, and we're going to click on that one, it's going to show you all of these printers. These are the small format ones. I will have a separate video on those. If you look at these, it's going to show you what the different price points are. The 2720 is the older one. This will always show you what the updated the updated printers are. The 2720 is one that's going to be phased out. The new one is the 2800. It tells you what the specs are. Okay. We're going to go ahead and kind of scan past that one. And all of these are printers. They cost way more money, and it's simple changes, like simple things, like instead of 100 sheets, it holds 200 sheets. It has two-sided printing. You don't need those, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to come down here to the 15,000. Okay. There's a printer here that's the 4850. It's $100 less than this one, but it only prints 8.5 by 11. The only wide format printer is the 15,000. And here it's not going to show you the 16,600 because that's considered like a super tank. It's like one for, you'll see it in the next section. This is like for home and like home offices. So they have the 15,000. Like I said, you have not been able to find this one for a really long time. But all of your specs are here, and it's telling you what capabilities it has. If you guys want to do this as a business, yes, they're content creators and we can give you information, but y'all know y'all don't want to sit through a long video. Go do the research yourself, and because all the information is there, and you can weigh your options on what printer, what price point you want to spend. There is no such thing as a beginner wide format printer where you're going to get it for $100. Your lowest is going to be $599 if you can find it. There are some who have 15,000s and they're selling them for $700, $800 because it is supply and demand. It's a printer that people are clamoring over, so people are taking advantage of that fact, and they're making more. They're making money off of it. They purchase it for $600. They're going to resell it. They have to make some money for anywhere from $750 to $800. I'm sorry, $650 to $800. So if we kind of go back and now we go to the ones for business, it's considered like a business one. We're going to click on that. This is where you will find that 16. So these here, this is small formats. All of these up here do not. The price points on them is going to be hella high. Just because it costs a lot of money doesn't mean it's a wide format printer. Some of these printers cost as much as a 15,000 because it's a super tank. It holds more ink. But for sublimation purposes, the only ones that are wide format are the 16,600, and the 16650. The only difference between these two printers, there is a $124 cost difference, but the only difference between these two printers is this right here. The 16600 prints out 25 sheets per minute, and then this is up to 12 sheets per minute in color, and this one has 25 in color and in black and white. That's literally the only difference. Same ink, same print technology, same resolution, all of it is the same. You're paying an extra $149 or $124, I'm sorry, to be able to print 25 sheets color in 1 minute instead of 12. And that's based off of 8.5 by 11 on standard. Plain paper standard. Once you go up to plain paper high, this number goes low, this number goes low. Once you go to 11 by 17, 13 by 19, you're not getting 25 pages per minute with those, okay? So this one here is $999, so basically $1,000. The 16650 is $1,123.99. So basically $1,124. That's why I say that's the only difference, a $124 price difference to be able to print faster. But you will find this one more often than you will this one. They make more of the 16650s than they do of this one. But those are your wide format options. And then the last one is a new one that they have. It is actually made for photos. That's why it's under the creative section. It is a photo printer. It offers a gray ink. This printer retails for $699. So basically $699.99. So basically $700 is what this one retails. You'll see there's a smaller one, $600. The one that's 8.5 by 11 costs the same amount as a 15,000. So for $100 more, it now becomes wide format. You can look at the DPIs on it. Again, it's a photo-based printer. It does offer the ink that comes with it is dye ink. There is one pigment ink, but it's mainly a dye ink. If you look at the specs on this, you just kind of go into it. It's going to let you know how fast it actually prints, which I'm trying to find. Okay, normally it's right up here. I think I went right past it. Overview. This one, let's see, 13 by 19. Dang, they don't have their, they don't have all of their specs on here. So I don't even know how fast this one prints because it doesn't look like they have all of their specs on here. Photo printers are normally not fast printers because of all of the details to have really great sharp images. It's not really a super fast printer. I was trying to see if they had the information, but they actually don't. Like, that's kind of crazy that they don't have all of, they don't have all of the information on the printer on here, like how fast it prints and stuff like that. But the main selling point for them with this one is the fact that it's a super tank and it's going to last longer because it's a tank printer. There are times where you're going to have issues with these printers, right? When it comes to EcoTank printers, they are a lot harder to fix if you have a break in your lines, you're doing print head cleanings, and it's still not fixed, like it's not working. Under the warranty of these printers, you can send them back in. And they're going to, if you were using it as just a regular Epson printer, you're going to send it in, they're going to send it back, and you're going to have your ink. You're not losing anything. If anything happens with these EcoTank printers and you have full tanks, guess what? You are now out of however much you spent in ink. Our ink set is $68. That's for only 4 colors. We do plan to get some gray. The other black one, there is no such thing as photo black sublimation ink. It's just black ink. You will put your black ink in both compartments. So for that particular printer, so let's say 68, and then, you know, that is basically just $1 off because our bottles are $18. So we're going to say plus 7. You can actually fill both reservoirs with 1 bottle of ink. All the other ones, you will have more left over. So you can purchase an additional bottle of sublimation ink so that you can fill both reservoirs. So let's just say $17 plus 17. You're looking at $102. If anything happens to your 8550 and you have to send it back to Epson, Epson is not going to give you back that $102. They're going to send you a new one. Something went wrong with it. It's their fault. They're going to send you a new one with their ink. You now have to go out and spend another $102 on ink to put in there. And if anything ever goes wrong again, once again, you are losing that ink. This is one of the main reasons why I'm not a huge fan. Now, if all goes well with you and you get 2 years, 3 years, however many years out of it, and you've never had any issues, no major issues, no breaks, and, you know, all that stuff, awesome, great, you're winning. But which things happen, if anything happens with it, I know quite a few people who have printers, 15,000 that are just sitting because they can't do anything with it. The 16600 the same way, and that actually takes more ink than the other ones. Well, I guess you really wouldn't waste $102 because you would have enough of, like, you would have the second half of the bottle to fill it in, but you kind of get the idea. When it comes to the workforce printers, if something happens with your printer and you have to send it back, you have to return it, guess what? Just take these out. When you get your new ones, you can then put these in after you set it up with the Epson ink. These are a lot easier to fix a break in your print head because you would do the push air method. So maintenance for the workforce printers is a whole lot less than maintenance for an EcoTank printer. With an EcoTank printer, all you can do is a print head cleaning and just keep repeating them, or do a power clean. For all Epson printers, it's in the fine print. You can only do 2 power cleans before it tells you that you have gone through the life cycle of your waste tank, and then you have to purchase another one. If you have one of the small formats that doesn't have an interchangeable or replaceable waste tank, once you do 2 power cleans, that printer is no good anymore. You can only do 2 power cleans because a power clean will literally go through almost half of your ink. That's another thing. In order to fix it, and you do a power clean, you are now wasting so much ink, whether it's repeated print head cleanings or if it is a power clean. You're going to run through a whole lot of ink. This method, don't go through that much. You push it, you push a little air through it, you get a little bit of ink on your paper towel, you run a print head cleaning, you're done. The other way is going to waste a lot of ink. So although some people say it's easier to deal with an EcoTank, when you think about it in the long run, workforces are a lot better. Can it cost you a little bit more than, you know, just kind of putting your ink in there? Setup, yes, very easy, very simple. Drop the ink in there, you're done. If your printer works perfectly from the time you purchase until the time it's time for you to upgrade, you're winning. But if there's ever any time for maintenance, it's going to be an issue. So for me personally, I rather spend a little bit more money on placing the chips. Our chips are $57 for this set. If you were buying them from Epson, it's going to cost you $130 for a set of XL. These are XL rated chips. They're not your standard chips. You're going to get more prints out of these than you would a standard one. If you're doing a lot of 13 by 19, it may not seem like you're getting a lot out of it, but you definitely are. Also, like with our sublimation paper, you get amazing colors with plain paper. So if you have to get this one, even if you do a lot of printing, it's still very cost effective because you don't have to use premium matte. And if you're doing this for a business, whatever it costs for you to have to constantly keep changing out your chips, you need to price accordingly. You can't say, okay, well, this is costing me too much money. It's too expensive for this. If you're doing it for a business, there's no such thing as it's too expensive because you should have factored in your supplies in your cost to run your business. That is what running a business is about. It is seeing what it costs to run your business and pricing your products accordingly so that you are still making a profit. But if you're worried about giving people a discounted deal and trying to keep your prices low, yes, it's going to seem like you're spending a lot of money, which is why some people can't wrap their heads around getting a Sawgrass because the ink cartridges are very expensive. But you price according to the material, the equipment that you have. But those, as of September 21st, 2021, those are the available ones that are in production. The Epson 7820, the Epson 7840, the 7310. Those are all workforce or cartridge-based printers. They are a 4-color system. Then you have the 16600, 16650. Same printer, just different print speeds. They are also a 4-color printer. Then you have the 15,000, and I'm only saying that because, I mean, it's still somewhat, but as I mentioned before, it's one that you're not going to find easily. I had someone who is way up north, and they had to order a printer from a Office Depot. They were searching all zip codes, and it's coming to them from an Office Depot in Florida to go to them way up yonder. So you're not going to be able to go into a store very easily and find it. You can find it in other stores, but you're going to have to search zip codes outside of your area. If your stores are saying they don't have it, search other states and see if they can ship it from that store. Some of the smaller states. I know my mom was in Key West. Down there, they had a lot of printers because people aren't clamoring for them in those areas. And so they still had some. And then you have the 8550. That one has a gray ink. For photos, it can make your grays better. It makes it to where like lighter gamuts, but it's not going to really help your overall color gamut. What helps your overall color gamut really is 6-color systems that have light cyan, light magenta. That is an Artisan 1430. That printer has not been made in like forever and a day. But if you have one and you can find one, they're normally very, very, very pricey. And it is a 6-color system. We do not carry the cartridges for those. We do not have light cyan and light magenta for it. So I don't use that one. I cannot find it. I wouldn't be able to find it when it comes to our company. If we can't provide assistance with our product for it, we don't really carry it. So I don't have an Artisan 1430. If you have any issues, I wouldn't know how to tell you how to troubleshoot it or anything like that. So we choose not to carry that product. So we can't help you for that. If you want the 6-color, like the true 6-color, where you have light cyan and light magenta, those help you get a wider color gamut. The gray really does not, but it is the most affordable. The 8550, because you really can't find that 15,000, the 8550 is the more affordable EcoTank printer compared to the 16600 and the 16650. All right. So hopefully this answered a lot of your questions as far as what are compatible Epson printers. And just to kind of, it's about Epson, just to let you know, no, you cannot do HP printers. No, you cannot do Canons. Can you do some Brothers? Yes, but most vendors don't sell refillable cartridges for Brothers. Most Brother printers, as far as getting ink economically, they have cartridges that are already pre-filled with ink. They're remanufactured cartridges. They're not refillable ones where you can put sub ink in. And I don't think I've ever, and I've kind of searched, seen a vendor that sells the Brothers pre-filled with sublimation ink. But there are some Brothers that don't use heat. For sublimation, it has to be a printer that has heat-free technology, which is why Epson has started to plaster that everywhere. All of their newer printers, they say on the front, heat-free technology, because that's letting you know you can use it for sublimation. We don't sell it with sublimation ink, but you can use it for sublimation. Okay. I'm going to just go through real quick to see if there are any questions. You're very welcome. Thank you. Then that means maybe your print head has gone through its life cycle. So if you're doing all that and it's still not working, then maybe that is just not fixable at this point. Okay. All right, so hopefully this video, which woohoo, we got it done in 35 minutes. This is a video y'all can sit through, and it's enough information for you. Like I said, next week I will have a video going over the small format ones because there are a lot more options, and some of those price points really, really, really get up there when it comes to them, and then there's no real features to it. In that video, I will talk about the actual Epson Sublimation, which is the F170. Although it's a really larger one, it still is considered a desktop because there is no stand for it. You also have the Epson F570 that is a true sublimation printer, but that's going to cost you over $2,000. So if that's something that you're wanting to invest in, that is an option, but that is a true sublimation printer. All the printers that I have gone over today are not sublimation printers. They do not come with sublimation ink. You have to purchase sublimation ink in addition to purchasing the printers. If you have an EcoTank printer, please do not put that ink that's in there and that comes in the box in your printer. For those, you must go straight to sublimation ink. If you have a workforce printer that uses cartridges, you start with the Epson cartridges first. Start with the Epson cartridges first. Once you have set it up, you've set up your Wi-Fi, then you fill these. Watch my video on what plugs are supposed to come out of it. You fill these, you put them in your printer, you do a print head cleaning, and you are done. You are set, ready to go to start printing out your sublimation projects. Once these go out, you can either take the Epson chips and put them on here to not waste those, but I recommend leaving those Epson cartridges as is. They make for great troubleshooting cartridges, and then you would just change out your chips. Okay. Sorry, had a little one run past my door. So yeah, hopefully this answers your questions about the available printers. I see what you said, Miss Kimberly. I'm not answering like general questions. If you're having an issue with it, I recommend that you post it in my Facebook group because I can't answer that one. Want to keep this one on topic. If you guys enjoyed this information, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, share the video out. It's very easy to go ahead, hit the share button, copy the link, or you can hit share to Facebook from our YouTube channel and just share it directly to a Facebook group. Be sure to also visit our website, shop.silaholics.com, and this is where you can find all of our products for sublimation. So our sublimation ink is keyed for your EcoTanks. They will work on the EcoTank printers. And then we have syringes and needles to fill up your cartridges. If you go here to starter collections, there is a starter collection. If you have a workforce, the traditional, the old one that uses 252, EcoTank, and the one for the 7820, 7840, and 7310 printers. Once you click on this, it will give you all of the information you need. It took the time to write it out. You guys read that. I don't leave any stone unturned. All the information is there for how you use these printers. And so you'll know what you're getting into when you're purchasing this printer and this system. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be ink credible. Peace.